Alright, what the fuck is she doing?
Yeah, that's my fault. I asked them when she was going to do the review of the Snyder Cut of the Justice League, and she broke.
Why?
Oh my fucking god. The movie isn't that bad. Besides, you knew you were going to have to review it at some point or another. Better to get it done now than later.
I don't want to do it!
Alright, which one of you broke my wife?
I did it by bringing up the Snyder Cut, but I didn't mean to break her.
So boring!
Nah, fuck that. I'm out. I love you. I'll see you in 4 hours.
Look, this version of the movie was way better than Whedon's version anyway, so just fucking suck it up and just get done and over with.
Fine. But you both are watching it with me. The Snyder Cut of Justice League is the director's cut of the 2017 film that we ended up getting from Whedon. The reason we got what we did was due to Zack Snyder having to drop from the original project due to personal matters, and Whedon took over.
With the less than stellar audience response to Whedon's version, Snyder fans would begin taking the world over by using hashtag release the Snyder Cut, and over a couple of years, it blew up Twitter until Warner Brothers finally gave in, and Snyder was given the go-ahead to release his vision.
Snyder was given $70 million to complete, score, and edit the new reshoots in October 2020, and it was originally pitched as a 6-episode miniseries, but instead was just released as a 4-hour-long film streaming straight to HBO Max in March of 2021.
So after all of that has been said and done, what better way to celebrate the 300th review than a 4-hour slugfest? Let's take a look at Zack Snyder's Justice League. We begin with the death of Superman from Batman v Superman as the mother box owned by Cyborg begins to react to the power surge, with Lex looking at a symbolized version of Steppenwolf's arrival. This also awakens the other mother boxes held by the Atlanteans and Amazonians. Bruce, like in the Whedon cut, heads to an Icelandic village looking for the alleged Aquaman, and just like the Whedon cut, he's shooed away but doesn't back down until he agrees to talk to him.
You're out of your mind, Bruce Wayne.
I swear, Bruce just does not care about his identity in this universe. Literally everyone, including a random group of people, now know who he is.
Comic Book 101. You fucking act like anybody's secret identity actually stays a secret.
I mean, it's almost as if it drives the story forward in most cases.
Okay, we aren't talking about fridging people here.
As the townspeople sing a song to Bruce, Arthur tells Bruce that he's not helping as we jump to Martha in mourning and driving off from the Kenton farm that's now for sale. Then we also go to Lois, who is visiting the death site of her love. We then go to something actually not brooding, as a group of men hijack a courthouse that happens to have a children's field trip currently going on and takes them all hostage.
Wonder Woman arrives and does what she does best as she takes down everyone as quickly as possible and stops the bombs from doing any damage to anyone. But the lead terrorist doesn't like that his plan failed, so he targets the children, ending in a scene that shows how epic Wonder Woman can be.
Okay, even I have to admit that scene was awesome.
Okay, so obviously Wonder Woman is the main reason I even showed up to this thing. And I really love scenes like this that showcase her. And I really do think this scene showcases her really well. It shows that not only is she a badass, competent hero and warrior, but she's also relatable and she's got great compassion and humanity. Like, overall, this scene was just, it was a really good Wonder Woman scene.
All I'm gonna say is, Wonder Woman's fucking awesome. And this scene just fucking showed it. Like, kind of hard to deny that.
Meanwhile, the Amazons are inspecting the mother box before Steppenwolf arrives, and we get the extended version of this scene, as they do everything they can to stop our villain. But we get a fight as if it's a bunch of level 1 newbies in D&D fighting a level 10 boss, as they are literally thrown around like ragdolls. This forces Hippolyta to run out of the room with the box, trapping all of her sisters in the building, as it falls into the sea, only for their sacrifices to be in vain, as Steppenwolf survives it.
It then becomes a game of keep away as the Amazons toss from one to another, eventually leading to the Queen being the last one standing before the Legion come at the last minute as Steppenwolf gets away with the box, ending part 1.
Anyone else bored yet?
You still need to finish it. You have 3.5 hours left to go. So suck it up.
But it's not that bad.
It's so boring!
Ignoring the crybaby, part 2 begins with Steppenwolf making base in an abandoned power plant while Bruce is looking for the rest of the metahumans while blaming himself for everything that happened in BVS as the parademons continue their search. The Amazons light the arrow of Artemis in order to alert Diana of what's going on as it's blasted all over the news. Meanwhile, Silas is being interrogated over the break-in at his work, and we get a glimpse of who possibly did it.
Oh look, it's Man-Bat!
Yeah, with the similarities in those designs, if the DCEU had expanded to the point that the MCU has expanded, I could see that being a point of contention and confusion in the future.
Here's the thing. When it comes to crime scene artists or whatnot, in movies you have 2 different versions. You have the ones who are very detailed that actually get all the details, i.e. Amazing Spider-Man, or you get one like in here where, fucking looks like Man-Bat instead of a parademon. Good luck explaining that in the future.
Diana goes to investigate using the arrow to find a hidden room that has all the information of what Mother Box is and the backstory of Darkseid. We get more of Aquaman showing off his chest as he saves a fisherman from drowning in a storm, and we get the world's slowest stripping scene to give you some eye candy.
Volca then warns Arthur about what's going on with the Mother Box as he turns down his mother's trident while Steppenwolf begs for forgiveness from Desaad and Darkseid. Diana goes to see Bruce and tells him everything she knows about Darkseid and the boxes, giving us a small montage of the first fight against Darkseid, showing gods, Amazons, Atlanteans, humans, and lanterns fighting alongside each other in order to stop Darkseid from terraforming the planet, and part 2 ends with Diana and Bruce knowing that they have to find the others.
Honestly, I feel like this specific story that Wonder Woman tells would have been a better introduction to the film and make that a prologue. You're already making it 4 hours long, and you already have an epilogue. Why couldn't this story have been the first part? It would have been more interesting and would have brought people in. Instead, it just slugs along at an extremely slow pace.
Part 3 mainly focuses on getting to know the members of the League way better than you get to know them in the Whedon version, as the Flash stops Iris from being crushed to death when she crashes into an oncoming truck, which actually showcases Snyder's love of slow motion in a good way.
Steppenwolf then begins interrogating the Atlanteans on information on the location of the second Mother Box. And oh look, Lois is actually in this film, and she's gone for more research on Aquaman and awkward flirtation. The next scene is a deep look into the mind of Cyborg as we learn about his past before his accident and how he was a rising football star with daddy issues, reassembled using the third Mother Box. I really enjoy this long sequence because it then goes into visuals that showcases what Cyborg can do just within his own mind, and the complexities that are pushed onto him by his new powers, like giving a woman in need much needed money.
After Barry gets told by his father to forget about his situation, Bruce visits him in the same way from Whedon's version, revealing their identities to each other, and Barry instantly joins the team.
Stop right there. I'm in.
You are? Just like that.
Yeah, I need friends.
Me too, Barry. Me too.
Hey! Well then what the fuck are we?
Oh look, more Wonder Woman stuff.
We see you, hero.
Diana helps Alfred work on a new gauntlet for Bruce while Victor hacks the Bat computer in order for them to meet, and despite Diana explaining the situation, Victor turns down the invitation to join. He then decides to bury the mother box in this fake grave next to his own mother while his father is captured by a set of parademons that brings him to Steppenwolf. Meanwhile, in Atlanta, Steppenwolf himself is attacking to get the second mother box, trying to take it away from Mira and the guards until Aquaman joins the fight, but is eventually successful in taking it.
Mara and Arthur argue over who he is and his mother, while Steppenwolf talks to Desaad, gaining more power from the second mother boxes as part 3 ends with a threat from our villain. Before we go to our trio of heroes talking to Gordon about what's going on, through even more exposition as Cyborg lets the group know that more scientists have been kidnapped, and it's tracked at Stryker's Island, and the four go to investigate.
Wow, they really just vanish. Huh? Oh, that's rude.
The group jump into action, saving Cyborg's father, with Batman and Wonder Woman taking on the parademons and Steppenwolf, while Cyborg and the Flash save the civilians. This scene is a lot better in this version of the film because it doesn't make our heroes look incompetent like Whedon's version did, especially with the Flash saving people. The scene continues like normal with the Flash getting injured, Cyborg hijacking the Nightcrawler, and them accidentally blowing up the harbor with Aquaman coming to help.
Here he comes to save the day!
Really, my good bestie?
Yeah, that's normal.
The heroes all get out safely, and Cyborg reveals that he has the third mother box, while Steppenwolf gives news that the Earth is key to the anti-life equation. He sees the Lord of Apocalypse for himself for the first time, demanding that Steppenwolf finish the job at all costs. The group convenes as the camera decides to make everyone dizzy, constantly circling around them. Victor then explains his backstory to the group, letting them know that he is basically the third box now. The group then decides they need to use the box to revive Superman.
Lois and Martha discuss that Martha may lose the farm and how much she is not handling Clark's death, leading into part 5 with the heroes unburying Superman and doing chatter, while Alfred tries to reason with Bruce, but he's sticking by his faith that he magically has. The group then sneak into the base in order to actually get to the Kryptonian ship.
While all of the breaking and entering is happening, we get more of Lois being depressed, and the next scene goes almost exactly like Whedon's version, with the heroes placing Superman in the Kryptonian pool as Cyborg uses his tech to control the ship and Flash uses his speed to wake up the box. But this time around, we get more of a glimpse into the dystopian Snyder future.
You know, as much as I rag about the Snyderverse, I am kind of actually disappointed that as of this recording, we aren't actually going to get the conclusion to Snyder's trilogy and the dystopian future that we've been promised the whole time. It's kind of a letdown, but what can you do? Hopefully Gunn's movies are way better.
Now that Superman is alive again, we get the Monument fight, starting with everyone when he scans the mother box in Cyborg and its defense systems turn on. This fight scene hasn't changed much, but it showcases him standing on his own against everyone without breaking a sweat, and the slow-motion fight with the Flash is actually done extremely well. Batman finally shows up, and Superman heads straight for him, taking out the entire league as they come for him. And then, like in Whedon's version, it takes Lois just showing up for him to stop fighting.
Oh, the power of boners will always prevail.
Thank the fucking gods you haven't made that into a t-shirt yet.
In fact, I never need to hear that sentence again as long as I live. I get what Snyder was trying to do with this. I do. I just don't think it had the impact that he intended, and I don't think it was particularly well executed. And I think it comes down to the fact that I never thought he handled Lois and Clark and their relationship all that well in his movies.
Steppenwolf shows up after Superman leaves with Lois, and despite Victor's father's attempts to destroy it and himself, Steppenwolf still manages to leave with it, and Part 5 ends with everyone even more determined to stop Steppenwolf once and for all. Clark and Lois then have a heart-to-heart while the group track down the mother boxes, finding Steppenwolf's base, and come up with the idea of fusing Cyborg with those boxes. Clark then reunites with his mother. This scene's a little corny.
Yeah, I'm not impressed.
No.
You know I'm funny, damn it.
Victor wakes up the Batplane, and the group head to take on our villain as he is trying to bring Darkseid to Earth as the world watches on. Superman talks to his father about what's going on while he dons the famous Death of Superman black and silver suit, and we yet again get the Superman is Jesus symbolism.
The League starts their plan as Batman destroys the shield, and the parademons attack him after he changes to driving the Batmobile, smashing through the city as the other four take down demon after demon head-on. They eventually get through the defenses and begin taking on Steppenwolf face-to-face, while Barry does his super speed thing to power up Cyborg. Steppenwolf does his best to stop the heroes, eventually overcoming everyone and almost taking out Cyborg until...
Not impressed.
Yeah, I'm not impressed either. Is this movie over yet? While Superman throws Steppenwolf around like a ragdoll, Flash is hit by a lucky shot, making it so the boxes fuse, and Darkseid begins to step into our world. Flash then uses his Speed Force to run time backwards enough to supercharge Cyborg, who finally realizes he's not alone anymore as they succeed in separating the boxes. The team then launch and kill Steppenwolf into Darkseid's world.
Darkseid vows to come back for the anti-life equation as our heroes celebrate heading into the epilogue. As we see everyone brooding and dealing with their own lives, Bruce buys the future Hall of Justice and the Kenton farm so it doesn't get sold to someone else.
How did you get the house back from the bank?
I bought the bank.
And after more heroic poses and superheroing, we go to Lex Luthor, who is not actually Luthor, and has escaped with Deathstroke, giving him the name of Batman.
We then get the dystopian future that has been spoken about as the future group of Batman, Mira, Flash, Deathstroke, and even Leto's Joker gather around with Joker taunting Batman for destroying the timeline and letting Lois die. But Superman finds them and Bruce wakes up from his vision. He then meets the Martian Manhunter, who warns him of the war to come, ending this 4-hour movie.
And that was Justice League Zack Snyder cut. Since the movie went straight to streaming, it didn't really make any money back, so the biggest thing I can really say about this film is that it's nowhere near as bad as the Whedon version. The characters are way more fleshed out, and the plot is not rushed or scrapped. The plot holes that were all over Whedon's versions are completely solved in this version, and overall it is a much better film. And I feel like I would have enjoyed this way more if it was actually what we got in theaters, more than likely if it was split into 2 movies. I'm ADHD. I can't sit through 4 hours. This script took me a long time to write.
While there are pacing issues with the Snyder Cut, I don't even have to watch Whedon's version to know that Snyder's version is leagues above what we got with the Whedon Cut.
So my overall feeling with the Snyder Cut is that it's good. I like it well enough. It's decent, but I feel like it's overrated. Now, it's definitely an improvement on the theatrical cut that we got from Whedon, but that's not a particularly high bar to clear. Let's just be so honest about that.
I do feel like some characters like Wonder Woman and Cyborg are handled much better in the Snyder Cut, and I do feel like some of the plot points are a little bit better set up and feel like they make more sense. But even with that, there is some things that can be constructively criticized with this film. While some of the characters are handled better in the Snyder Cut, I still feel like there are characters that aren't handled pretty well at all. I have never been a fan of the way Snyder has handled Superman or Lois Lane. And I'm not going to lie, it also kind of bothers me that Snyder will get a pass or even praised on some of these things, where other filmmakers and films will get raked over the coals for them.
And to be honest, as much as I nitpick, the movie is not that bad. It's extremely long, and for my ADHD-riddled ass, it is extremely boring. I can't get into it personally. And that's just, my problem with the film. A lot of people love it. It's not great, but we can see why WB has, once again rebooted. So, that being said, I do want to thank everybody, especially the two of you, for helping with this review. And everyone who's made it through this huge episode, I want to say thank you for being a part of the Critic Buffet. Thank you for watching my videos. And hopefully we'll see you for 300 more. That being said, I'm your superhero critic. I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome.